Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and Rachel Zegler, as you guys may know, it's gonna be the new Snow White in the new, in this live action remake that Disney is putting out. And I don't know why Disney has, this weird obsession making all their classics into live action, and then switching it kind of drastically too. As of late, Rachel Zegler has been under a lot of fire. And I have to say, admittedly, I feel like rightfully so, because, recently, I'm recording this on August 19th, so, by the time this actually comes out, that might be more stuff that's more recent, but, she recently said, by the time of this recording, that, I wish the world can be nicer, friendlier, And that messaging is, that whole message is not exactly bad, per se. And I can actually, if it was anyone else, I would honestly say that those words will carry a lot more weight than it does now. But the thing is, Rachel, when Gina Carano got a lot of heat for not bowing down to the people who were trying to demand her to put bios in her name, bios in her pronouns in her bio on Twitter. At the time it was called Twitter, now it's called X. Rachel Zegler came in and jumped in on the hate bandwagon. So, like I said, if she didn't do that, then her words, those words on the tweet, was I will put in the description for you guys so you guys can look at it, would have carry more weight. But as of right now, that means shit. But now, I've seen this article that says Snow White director Son claims Walt Disney would be turning in his grave over Rachel Zegler's live-action remake. So let's see what they mean. Snow White has been plagued by backlash from the beginning, and then talk about this remake. First stars Rachel Zegler cast was criticized due to Zegler being a Latina descent. Peter Dinklage, meanwhile, called the live-action remake a fucking backward story that he said was offensive to the dwarvism community. Disney later responded to the film that would not be reinforcing stereotypes over different abled people. But the thing is, which there's been a lot of talk about this, which is why I haven't made a video about this, because I don't want to shove down your guys' throats about this topic. But there's not many roles that dwarves can play, right? Peter Dinklage banked on roles for dwarves, right? He was in Game of Thrones. He was in Chronicles of Narnia. I believe in Prince Caspian. I don't think he was in the third one, but I believe he was in Prince Caspian. He also Game of Thrones, Chronicles of Narnia, and he was an elf. All three roles, I'm pretty sure, required dwarves, right? And Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, literally in the name, has dwarves. 7 dwarves. How many times have we seen dwarves get depicted? Oh, and Peter Dinklage was also in Infinity War that helped Thor will get a new weapon because the hammer broke. Essentially. So if you, it's already bad enough that dwarves are having if you're a dwarf and want to be in the movie industry, it's kind of hard to do that because there's not many roles for dwarves. I would think that would be more inclusive. Say, okay, no, I get nah. We are going to stick with the dwarves because there's not many roles in Hollywood for dwarves. You would think that, right? Um. So they definitely right there. I feel like they shot themselves in the foot. Forget Rachel Segler being a Latino descent, and there could have potentially been people that are better suited to play Snow White. They shot themselves in the foot when they caved in and said, "Yeah, we're not gonna have any dwarfs in this movie." I know Disney will most likely make another remake of Snow White in the future. It's inevitable, especially with their obsession with making all of their live actions, classics into live action. Next time you guys do that, make sure to actually be true to the source material. Have the dwarves be dwarf-sized, normal-sized people. Because, matter of fact, you guys are taking away rules for dwarves, right? Besides, it's not like you guys are going to do it remake all of your other live action remakes, right? Where the majority of your classics don't even have dwarves. So you guys can go crazy on those, but at least let the dwarves have their or the little people, whatever terminology they have a day in the sun. Anyways. Now the son of the director of the original 1937 animated film is saying that Walt Disney himself would disapprove of the new woke direction of the feature. David Hand, whose late father of the same name was the original film director, worked for Disney as a designer in the 1990s. Hand told the Telegraph UK that Disney and his dad would be turning in their graves if they were alive to see the new Snow White. It's a whole different concept, and I also quote unquote, it's a whole different concept, and I just totally disagree with it. And I know my dad and Walt would also be very much disagree with it. Hand said. He added that it is a disgrace. It's a disgrace that the studio is trying to do something new with something that was just a great success earlier. Their thoughts are just so radical. They change the story. They change the thought process of the characters. They're making up all new woke things, and I'm just not into any of it. I find it quite frankly a bit insulting what they might have done with some of their classic films. There's no respect for what Disney did and what my dad did. I think Walt and he would be turning in their graves. And I agree, there's clearly no respect for what Walt did. I'm tired of Disney remaking all their classics into live action, and especially as of lately, they're I feel like for the most part, their live action adaptations has been a flop. Disney as a company has lost sight of what made it special in the first place, and it's sad. And a descendant of a person who actually helped create the movies just be saying something to them right now. And like I said in a previous video, when I was talking about how Abigail Disney has called out Bob Iger over the stupid shit that Bob Iger has done to her great uncle's company. If nobody else that's been calling out what the Walt Disney Company has been doing says anything to you guys, then the grandniece, any person of the Disney family should say the most, should say something. Come on. Anyways, Lead actress Segler has expressed her own disdain for the original story and shared that she was not a fan of the first film. "Quote unquote, there's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird, so we didn't do this time. Really, not about the love story at all. But it's instead about the character's inner journey that goes on to find her true self." First off, are you sure you were watching the same story as I did? Because the prince didn't. The prince didn't stalk her at all. And two, like a character finding like a character's inner journey that goes to find their true self. Nobody is like saying that's a bad thing. If you want to tell a story about like a character's inner journey and how that said character, regardless if they're male or female, goes from their inner true self, then make an original film. Don't be remaking stories to do that with pre-16 characters. If you're gonna remake a classic in this case, then keep it true to the source material. Sure, like, yeah, you're gonna probably change like a thing or two here to make like to somewhat differentiate the live action from the animated, sure. But at least for like honor this what made Snow White Snow White. Honor everyone that worked on our film. Snow White is the very first Disney princess. In my opinion, Snow White deserves a shit ton of respect for that reason, because she was the first Disney princess, right? She initially was the princess that kickstarted the princess series in Disney off. So she deserves the most amount of respect, in my humble opinion. But now they're taking a big dump on the lore of Snow White. And people like Segler, who uses the term stalking with the prince who like literally stalks her, is a reason why like some words who like once upon a time had a lot of potency are losing their potency, because people like her are like Zoe now that I remember her fucking name, Rachel Segler, is like weakening those terms. So if you guys are going to use those terms, stalking, harassing, racist, whatever, make sure you're actually in those scenarios, the meaning of the word is actually there, besides you being a little man baby or little adult baby is a better term, adult baby, and like just throw out words to make yourself sound cool and badass. Anyways, Segler continued that the revamped live-action Snow White character is not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be. You know, that would be a great story if it was Snow White. Snow White was dreaming for her true love to come and find her. Stick with it. If you want to make a princess movie where said princess is dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her she couldn't be, again, as I said earlier about the whole inner, like, a character going on this journey to find their true selves, make a new character. If you pull that off right, I bet a lot that could make, in this case, Disney a shit ton of money. But if you're going to be doing like a adaptation, a live action adaptation of a pre already established IP, then at least honor it. Honor that lore. Honor the characters. Don't just make a massive shit on the property and the characters. Don't disrespect the characters like you're doing right now. That's just my humble opinion. Anyways, the film hits theaters March 22nd of 2024. I'm not going to see it in theaters. Like, most like with The Little Mermaid, which I still have yet to see to this recording. I refuse to watch The Little Mermaid, just like I'm going to be refusing to watch Snow White. Period. If I want to watch The Little Mermaid and Snow White, since I brought The Little Mermaid up, if I want to watch The Little Mermaid and Snow White, I will gladly watch the animated films again. With that said, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And I will talk to you if other means later. Later, taters.